Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a daily tarot oracle reading, Tattle Tales from the Vector. This is a general or collective reading, so parts of it may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and just leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning if you're watching it at this time, it is the perfect time for you. Having said that, if it has been a while since I posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you further clarity as to your situation now. All right, we have the Hierophant. We have the Hierophant to begin the reading from the underlying energy. The Hierophant is responsible for bringing justice in from the spiritual realm down to the physical. This energy is talking about if you're a religious figure, it would be the people who are the leaders of your church, like bishop, popes, cardinals, rabbis, gurus, whatever your church is. And then if you're more on the spiritual side, it would represent meditation and prayer to go directly to source energy without the intermediary. And that is brought down to the physical world, and justice is served through the court systems throughout the world. And we do have the Hierophant with his right hand in the form of a blessing. So this is talking about if you're on the right side of the law, this will be a big blessing for you coming in. We do have justice. The justice is talking about, a judgment being made in the spiritual realm and brought down to the physical world, as explained here. So it's the Hierophant's job to make sure that justice on planet Earth happens. This is talking about spiritual and physical justice. This veil in the background represents the thin veil between the spiritual and the physical realm. The justice figure she's wielding her sword in her right hand, ready to go as soon as she gets the word from the Most High. And she has her right foot stepping forward and peeking out. So this is talking about she's ready at a moment's notice. Justice can also be about redemption from karma, and karma, a lot of people feel is punishment, but in reality it is cause and effect for your actions or your inactions. So you could directly cause someone to suffer and struggle, and that is direct karma. You actually did something, or you didn't do something when you could have done something, when you saw someone was being wronged. And this could also be indirect karma. So this could be leftover karma that your ancestors were unable to clear up before they crossed the veil. It could be descendants as well. And anyone you associate with that, through work or friends, family, whoever that may be, that causes suffering to others. And then we have the karmic spaces, and the karmic spaces are very common for every human being. It's easy spaces that we fall into that cause us karma. And we have the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is riding in with a cup of love here. This is, the knight in shining armor that you hear about in all the romance novels and in the movies, dressed to the nines and ready to offer this solid offer of a cup of love. In the old days, the knights would travel far and wide throughout the kingdoms, and they would deliver messages for the court, for the queen and the king. It would be always in person, because this was the only way of communication they had, long distance, in the old days. And these days, this information, you don't have to wait for a knight to show up at your doorstep. And it's more likely that you'll get a phone call, a text message, maybe something in the mail, a delivery of flowers, perhaps an email. Also, this could represent being messaged on one of the many social media platforms out there, seeing an event that is posted, and attending that event, and then perhaps then you meet someone in person. And this also is saying, if you're looking for any information, it's not just about communication. It's a good idea to keep an eye on what's happening at the top of the pyramid. Whatever is happening at the top, excuse me, is directly going to affect everybody underneath, and also the people underneath affect the top. As above, so below. Excuse me. And then we have the moon. The moon is talking about hidden illusions, secrets coming out. We do have a full moon tonight. This moon is in Sagittarius, so it's about adventure. And it's a blue moon. So once in a blue moon, you may have heard that saying. Blue moons are rare. They only come about every 2.5 to 3 years. And it's when there's 2 full moons in 1 month. We had one on May 1st, and now we have one on May 31st. This energy is quite special. It has a lot of impact on the month, because 2 full moons in 1 month is a lot of energy. It can be very emotional energy. So just be aware that that is possible. And also, though, it's highly intuitive. So at this time, it's a great time on this night of the full moon to take some time to listen to your intuition. If you have any dreams or aha moments, or you just have like a thought pop in your head, write it down, because these could be liquid gold. Down the road, they might become really good ideas to build something on. We have the moon, or the lobster, climbing out of the emotional waters here, and he wants to stay on his path, but he's like, oh man, he's trying to stay in between these 2 pillars. He doesn't want to get distracted, but there's a dog and a wolf sitting there howling at the moon together, and he's like, man, I got to get past them and have them not notice me. Feeling a little bit vulnerable, but determined to go by and get through tonight. He has we have the sun, the full moon, and the new moon all being represented here. This can be talking about the eclipse season. We just had an eclipse season on February 17th. We had an eclipse, and then we had a second one on May the 3rd. And that could be, that energy bubbles like potpourri on the back burner of your stove, just simmering away there. Not really on the forefront of your mind, but it's about 6 months later, like the length of time that energy unfolds is around 6 months. And so around mid-August, you might look back and say, wow, a lot happened in my life since, the end of, the end of February, basically. And when you're in it, you don't notice so much because you're so busy keeping up with the energy. But looking back, you might say, wow, like a lot happened. And then we have this energy, and it's the 9 of Cups. Now, the cups, as I said, represent romantic love a lot of the time, especially with this card, but it can be love of anyone or anything. And also something you love to do or be. And this person is sitting on stage. This may imply that you are a public figure, or you have a public platform of some kind, or whatever your job is, it's dealing with the public. And also it's saying that whatever you're working on, that you are highly favored to come out on top. This is talking about something that you're wishing for, or that you've been working towards, and that you're highly favored to receive it, but you have to keep your focus right now. It's saying don't get distracted, don't go out from between these 2 pillars. Stay on your destined path, so that you, many a race is lost in the last lap when people kind of lose their focus. And you can see this person is losing focus a little bit from the body language here. His feet are turned out. And when your feet are turned out like this in body language, that talks about leaking energy. So, if you're sitting there and your feet are forward, if you have to get up in a moment's notice, you can get up. Think about a car, how far a car gets. If its wheels were facing out like this, not very far. So it's just talking about that lower, the base chakra energy being a bit drained. Maybe, when you are this close, sometimes you've been working for a while at it, and it's just maybe a little bit tired energy. But he does have his arms in the shape of an infinity symbol here. It kind of reminds me of a genie. This is saying, just maintain your focus, and, don't lose focus on this project now, because it needs that final push. We have these cups, we can't tell, are they behind him on a shelf? Are they above his head? Or are they forward? So this could be past, present, or future energy all coming together. And then we have the Five of Swords. Five of Swords energy is, again, it's talking about cutthroat energy, of having to keep your focus, taking risks. This person has just been in a fight with two people here. They've laid down their swords. He's clearly won. And this energy quite often is saying that there is cutthroat energy, and that you may have to fight for what is yours. But it's also talking about taking a risk, and you have to make sure, is it worth the risk? Like, is what you're fighting for really what you want? Because if you don't want it, you don't want to just get in the habit, like be fighting for something that's not worth all this cutthroat energy. This can sometimes talk about the energy of a person. And so this could be you, three different versions of you, and inner conflict. So if you have outer conflict coming at you, it can often cause a lot of inner conflict. And if you have inner conflict, then that attracts more outer conflict. So you don't want to get into the habit of having to battle for what is rightfully yours. But this energy is saying this is like, even the clouds in the sky are jagged. So this is rough energy, ragged energy. But if this is three versions of you, this could represent a struggle within you. And if you can get that calmed down, then perhaps the outer struggles will be less often and more, and less aggressive. And so if you think of this as like your subconscious mind is, by the time you're 6 or 7, it is formed, and it is imprinted heavily on you. So your subconscious mind is the thoughts really of the people who are in charge of your care, because we can't remember what happened to us when we were a baby. And up to about kindergarten age, we have a few memories generally, but not that many. And that is basically what the subconscious mind is made up of. When you think about a baby, they are like a sponge absorbing the environment around them, and that's heavily imprinted on us. So when we get triggered, we get upset about something, it's really easy for us to go to that subconscious mind, and it's actually not the most reliable for us, because it's really the thoughts of the people that were in charge of our care when we were a baby. And so we also have the unconscious mind, which is your spiritual needs, and your unconscious mind. A lot of people will say, I'm a soul or I'm a human with a soul. But from your unconscious mind's point of view, you are a soul traveling in a human body, and that's your vehicle for getting around. And if the unconscious mind's needs are not being met, then it will start getting very loud and arguing with the subconscious and the conscious mind. The conscious mind, you have a handle on that. You can say, I just fought these two dudes, and they're down. And if anyone else wants to come at me, I'm here, and I'm going to fight for what is mine. And so you can tell the tale, you have memory of it. It's that type of energy. If you can get these three minds all working together, and they're congruent with each other, and then you plug that energy into your heart, that's when you go after your authentic desires. And the conflict within is eased, and as well, it may empower you to deal with that outer conflict in less risk-taking ways. And then we have Eight of Cups here. So this Eight of Cups is saying that someone has put a lot of work. I mean, there's only 10 cups available in the tarot. So Eight of Cups is a lot of time and money and energy invested in a relationship of some sort. Now, if this is, sometimes this can represent a romantic relationship, but this could be friends and family. This could be a project that you love, that you were working on, a career that maybe you're leaving, that sort of energy. It is, like there's 5 good years, and then there's 2 and a gap, and a third year. Sometimes this energy does represent a third party involvement in a couple's relationship that causes a gap in the relationship, and one of them is walking away. This is also showing the full moon and the new moon. So it's talking again, tonight is a full moon. So we're going to see, and it's a blue moon. So we're going to see a lot of moon energy, I feel, tonight, apparently. And I'm actually doing this, in the evening of the full moon, and I'll be posting this first thing in the morning. We do have the Fool. So this is talking, someone's walking away from something here that really mattered to them. And this, that they have love for. And this is the Fool going out on a new cycle. So when the Fool goes on a new cycle, he starts at the 0 point. You see the white sun in the background is representing him going on. This is a leap of faith for him that, okay, I'm going to be good. This is representing innocence. And he has very little baggage. He's taking that leap of faith. Hopefully his dog reminds him that he's about to walk off a cliff. And this energy, he has tattered sleeves because this is saying that he has been out there in the past, and this energy is talking. This isn't his first cycle, so he has some experience, and although it is a new cycle, he's taking the experience that he's learned from previous cycles out with him, so that he has an even better everything that he learned from his past cycles, that he can take that on his journey with him. And look at this, we do have this 5 of Cups energy. So it's kind of explaining this situation here. We have all this energy ready to have everything you wish for or close to it. And then all of a sudden we have this big battle here. And I feel that there was some sort of maybe love triangle here, or there's some sort of energy, involving something that you love to do or be, and you had to walk away from it, or were forced to walk away from it, chose to walk away from it because of the friction, that sort of energy. With the Knight of Cups here, I feel that this definitely is leaning towards some sort of relationship where, this card, when you look at it, it's talking about crying over spilt milk. We have 3 cups spilt here. And, if the saying, don't cry over spilt milk, is just saying, hey, the milk is already spilt. You're not going to suck it out of the ground. So you just have to take the loss, and you have to just accept, okay, this was a loss, and I'm just going to have to deal with that loss. And some people will stand there for the rest of their life when they have a loss in love like this, and they just don't ever move forward. They're just not able to overcome it. In this case, there's actually 2 glasses of wine here, and then there's a third glass that has some other liquid in it that poisoned the relationship. This quite often does talk about a third party involvement. And we also have that, 3 here, and we have 3 here. So I do feel definitely it could be about business, something you love to do or be, and also at the same time, unfortunately, perhaps someone that is in your inner circle, like a family member or a really good friend or someone you really trusted, is part of the problem. And it also could mean that in your significant other relationship, that someone strayed and there was a third party involvement. So this is remorse and regret. There's 2 cups still standing. The best thing you can do is turn around, notice the 2 cups standing, be grateful that they are not spilt. You still have something to work with. So take a walk down the path, cross over the bridge over troubled waters, get to your castle. The castle in the background there looks like it's half dilapidated and half standing. So this energy is saying again, what is your attitude going to be? Is the glass going to be half full, or is it going to be half empty? And you feel isolated and left out and really feeling down. This energy is talking about, for one thing, if you are in a relationship and you've been in it for 8 years, you probably had to split assets. And that kind of energy can mean that now you only have half of what you used to have. And it feels like starting all over again. And so they can cause this feeling of isolation. Also, sometimes this energy can represent the energy of someone who there's been a lot of tactics used to ruin their reputation, gaslight, gang stalking energy, that type of energy, to take someone so that they're in a position where whatever they had here, they didn't receive it and someone else could take it while they were busy dealing with all of this mess. And maybe that's why we have the Hierophant here wanting to bring justice in. So this card is talking about really feeling left out in the cold. The snowflakes, you know, this person is on crutches and they have a plague bell around their neck. In the old days, they didn't have apps, you know, to stop people from coming into town or being around. They would have to rely on a big bell, and they would tie that around someone's neck and force them to wear it, so that wherever they went, people could run and get out of their way so they wouldn't be anywhere near them. And this energy would make it, of course, very hard to get a job or participate in social activity, anything of that matter. And this person actually doesn't even have shoes, and they're walking through the snow. Clearly, with 5 pentacles, that's only, you know, half of what you can get in the tarot, and that's only half for each of these. It's basically saying that it's not enough to support yourself in a home. It's talking about being blacklisted, being pushed out of your career, all of that energy. And the snowflakes can sometimes represent the tactics that were taken to put you in this position. And the energy is talking about, when there's a flake or two, anyone can handle that. But when a whole bunch of flakes pile up and they go after 1 or 2 people and are very persistent with that energy, gaslighting, etc., it can really cause people to be in a very detrimental position. And then we have this conviction beyond a doubt. So this is talking about standing your ground again. Now this is similar energy to this. We have the seven of wands. Now this is talking passionate action, though. This is more anger and conflict, cutthroat energy, and this is more like now that you know what you know, perhaps you found out some information when this Knight of Cups came in and offered this, and then all of this happened and you went on this new cycle, that some sort of energy happened. I don't know if justice has been served yet. No, it doesn't look like it when you're in this position. But this is saying now you do have conviction beyond a doubt, now that you know what you know, and that you will stand your ground and fight for what is yours. It's similar energy, but this is less aggressive. This is more like if you come to my home like this, and you can see he's wearing a boot on one foot and a shoe on the other. So, you know, he might have had to rush out and just threw on whatever shoes he grabbed, and it happened to be a mismatch. Or it can be talking about standing your ground at the top of the hill, and you're still kind of caught between one realm and the other. So you're still in between this energy. It hasn't been resolved yet, but you do have some information that came in that gave you conviction beyond a doubt that you will fight for what is yours. This is talking about passionate action. And sometimes this can also talk about walking in someone else's shoes to understand what they're going through, but it also can talk about identity theft. Someone pretending to be you, being a copycat, identity theft, forgery, that type of energy. And we have the Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups energy is talking about unconditional love, basically. The Queen of Cups of the 4 queens, is the most likely to be in a traditional marriage, a traditional relationship. This energy is the most maternal of all the queens. It's representing, like her trophy. Her love is like a trophy. She's got this big cup with a lid on it. And the lid is saying that she's a container for unconditional love. This energy also can represent your maternal bloodline. So someone like your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, if you do have a mother-in-law, it can represent her and her bloodline. We have an energy here of being breadcrumbed, and I feel like that's what this energy is about. All of this that happened here is talking about, this person has sown seeds, and now this would be about upper middle class energy. He's got enough to give to charity, and he's learning the give and take of life, basically, and of business. Now, pentacles in the tarot do represent health, wealth, and happiness in the third dimension. So, but you could have all the money in the world and still not be living the lifestyle that you want if you don't have your health and you don't have your any love in your life. And this is sitting right on this energy here of this love offer that seemed like to not be such a true love offer. So almost like someone was sent in to put you in this position. And this is talking about being breadcrumbed from something. Now, if this is representing your maternal line, it's talking about perhaps an inheritance or something, or maybe, I don't know, something happening. Sometimes this energy can talk about DNA. It can talk about adoption, that type of energy. So we're not quite sure what this is about, but this quite often represents breadcrumbing energy. Here, this person is giving money to this beggar. The reason why is because his discernment is telling him that this person will be grateful for it, appreciate it, and do something to empower themselves with this money. He's got the scale of justice hanging above this person's head saying, hey, dude, you've got something in your pocket. You need to look at, you have what you need, what you want. You expect me to give you money, so you want to risk my money, but you don't want to risk your own. And that is this energy right here. High risk, cutthroat energy. Hey, let's take money from other people and invest their money and keep it. Basically, that's the energy. And then make it so that it's impossible for them to get work, so that no one believes them, when they try to get help for it. Now, this is talking about commitment, marriage, and partnership, and it's sitting right on this energy here. There's some sort of illusions or whatever if you've been married and this is an ex now because they walked away or you walked away. This is maybe some information coming in about your marriage, commitment and partnership, that there was something. This is supposed to represent ultimate fulfillment. But it is in this position with the Hierophant, the Justice. There's a few cards here talking about this type of energy. We have, justice needing to be served. We have someone, this cutthroat energy walking away, being forced to walk away. The Hierophant coming in with justice, putting you on a new journey. There's something happened here, deep loss. Being out in the cold and ostracized by society. The energy of conviction beyond a doubt can actually mean a sentence for those who were doing this energy or being set up, that type of energy. And now it's even saying that, and being breadcrumbed. And now it's possibly saying that your significant other, your spouse or a partner that's, that you have a strong commitment with, whether that be in business or possibly family members, friends that, people from your inner circle, that now you find out they are also involved. So this is it's sitting on this energy here. And then we have the Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles energy is about someone working very hard behind the scenes. This could be how you were working and then you walked away or were forced to walk away from it. This is talking about sometimes, this is the only card in the deck where someone is actually literally working on the coin. So they're literally making money. And quite often with the other cards in context here, this can be illegally, like counterfeit money, money laundering, white collar crime, that type of energy. This person's very focused on these 8 pentacles. And there's 8 cups. This can be been focused. That could be what this is about here. And that's where the conflict is coming in. Wow. Yeah. So, and just as you were about to get the 9th, you're on the 9th and about to get the 10th cup, being forced to fight for what is yours. And so now that you know what you know, you have conviction beyond a doubt can also be, there definitely is going to be a conviction because the Hierophant is here to bring in justice to this situation. This can be talking about, they've been doing it, if you're looking at this as years, this could also be looked at years, and they've been doing it for 6 years, they're on their 7th year. and they were about to get what they wanted. Or this could have just been starting to happen. And or I don't think so, though. It feels like we have this energy here, represents these 6 here. You being breadcrumbs so that you can keep working and they can keep on taking behind the scenes. That's the energy. And we also have the 6 of Cups. Wow, what a wild reading this one is. So this is talking about the 6 cups and these 6 coin and this 6 coin and, you know, that type of energy. Wow. So this is talking about reconciliation. So for reconciliation to happen, it would imply that there needs to be forgiveness of some sort, because you know, you wouldn't, you know, otherwise why would you be reconciling? But sometimes this can actually mean reconciliation with the past. Like, so quite often this can represent an energy of when you were young, when you were a child, that maybe there are hidden illusions and secrets in your childhood that you weren't aware of, and those are coming out now. And this truth is coming out about what happened when you were younger, and it's talking about the people and what all of, like, kind of the driving force behind all of this energy, what's going on here with all these people involved. It's like a lot of energy, man. And so this card, when you first look at it, you look and it's, hey, there's 2 children. They're playing in the yard and they're playing with these potted flowers, and someone's standing in the background watching over them. But when you look more closely, you realize, wait a minute, that's a gnome. This is a little woman. And from the back, she looks like a hag. And from the front, she looks like a young woman. They both have this white mitt on. And this is saying, we don't want to get our hands dirty. But the old hag is just saying to him, keep your stupid flowers. They're not yours anyway. We don't want them. Let's go. And the younger version is saying, is being nice. And she's explaining how they don't want to get their hands dirty. Thank you for the flowers, but we don't want them. She's being nice. She's people pleasing. And this is saying, if someone from your past comes in now, are you going to people please them when this is the situation here? Be very, very careful about people coming in from your past that you haven't seen for a long time. And all of a sudden, you know, you're getting like, oh, hi, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you for 25 years. You know, and then the next day someone else is showing up sort of in the same energy. So this could be talking about people from your past being involved in this, and you having to figure out, okay, what the heck is going on here? This is full of illusions then. This could be saying that your childhood was an illusion. There was a lot happening there that you didn't know. That could be causing a lot of inner conflict from your subconscious mind. And so even the flowers here, these white flowers in tarot represent innocence. And yet, these are not innocent flowers. They're from the nightshade family, and they are highly toxic if they're ingested. This is Datra, and Datra sometimes is used by shamans in their ceremonies when they want to have visions created for people to heal from their childhood wounds, and so to heal inner child energy. And, you know, Datra is not something you would ever have anywhere near. You wouldn't let children play with these flowers. You wouldn't let pets be near it. You know, a shaman might have them around because they are working with adults. And they've been doing this for, you know, centuries, so they understand what they're doing. Yeah, this isn't something you would let children play with. And the person that was watching over the children is actually some stranger just walking down the path. So the whole thing was an illusion, is an illusion. And so this quite often means that people from your past could be coming in. And sometimes this could be old lovers saying, hey, you know, why don't we give it another go kind of energy. What are they really up to? What are they trying to get out of you? What's really going on here? And we have the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is representing the energy of someone who comes from generational wealth. You know, this is a legacy that's passed down from, from an adult to their children and children's children down the line. This energy is, the Queen of Pentacles is known for being very resourceful. She understands how to stretch a dollar. She can make something out of nothing and is highly respected for her ability to do so. She also prefers quality over quantity. She's not old money. It's not flashy like new money is. It's not like, oh, I have to impress everybody, so I have to have, the latest of everything and all the designer. And it's much more quiet richness. But I always am wondering, if she comes from generational wealth, why does she have to be so resourceful? And it's been a burning question on my mind lately. I want to know. And so she's been showing up in a lot of the readings, and you look and she's sitting here on this making money from the past, the illusions around the money, around the generational wealth. What happened to it? I want to know what happened to that money. And then here we have a King of Cups energy. And these two have been coming in, and this could be a separated couple. It's not usually, because the King of Cups and the Queen of Cups generally are the most traditional marriage. They're the most stable. But we have this energy here where they're apart from each other. And they've been showing up in my readings, and it's like, okay, what are they wanting to say? So quite often, this can represent your maternal line, and this could represent your paternal line. And also, this could represent people in your paternal line or your maternal line. So this can be cousins from your father's side, cousins from the mother's side, aunts, uncles from the father's side, and also that same energy here. So the King of Cups is normally someone who is, when he offers a cup of love, it's a solid offer. But these two have been showing up, and it's been different energy. And I feel like this is parents, grandparents, great-grandparents. It's some energy, and that's why the Hierophant is here and why this Justice is here. It keeps coming up, and I guess it's going to keep coming up. Something happened in the past. It has something to do with marriage, that there was something not correct about this marriage, and it was the benefit. And is this the King of Cups energy here? Now, why is he sitting on this marriage that was in this energy, and it was really for making money? So was there an arrangement made of some sort? Is this talking about an arranged marriage that didn't work out? What is it talking about? It's been coming up in my readings for the last week, so eventually we'll get to it, because it's like the potpourri, and this might be the eclipse energy that I was talking about, is like in the background, and it's like there's some sort of illusion about a marriage that was arranged, and it had to do with your parents or your paternal, and this is like, or sometimes this can represent just father energy, someone you look up to as a father. So, this could be an uncle on your paternal side, or it could be, well, I guess it could be an uncle on both sides, but it's someone that is a masculine figure that you look up to as a father figure, or it can sometimes represent the father of your children. It can represent the energy of, your father. Yeah. If your father's on the other side already, then that would represent this energy here trying to come through through your intuition. Or this, if this is your father and your mother and they're still alive, this could be something maybe that you want to go talk to them about. Is there something I need to know? And there's something going on here. We'll keep going here. It keeps popping up though. So this is talking like the King of Cups is keeping his shift together. He's out in the middle of this chaos. And in tarot, like rough water like this represents volatile emotion and chaotic energy. So there's something like it reminds me of the potpourri. It's in the background and it's starting to smell. Someone needs to check if the pot is getting empty, and it's maybe starting to stink rather than smell beautiful. It's that type of energy. And then we have a lawyer energy, basically. Quite often this can represent like a divorce lawyer, the King of Swords, and with these kinds of cards around. but doesn't have to be. The King of Swords is someone that is in their, at the top of their game. They would be earning their money through using words, whether that be written or that be verbalized. And this would be, so it could represent politician energy. We do have a king here. It could be presidents, prime ministers, members of Congress, the Senate, could be ministers in the federal government, someone who has some clout, possibly that makes laws, as part of making the laws of the land. This energy also could be talking about lawyer energy for sure, like the legal system. So this could be judges, head prosecutors. If this is a lawyer, this will be a lawyer that is someone who is at the top of their game, probably a partner in an established firm. This energy could be someone who's doing research, veterinarians, surgeons, psychiatrists, what else? This could be a best-selling author, someone in a social media platform that speaks a lot for their living. Someone that goes on stage and speaks for their living. Paper pushing, doing things behind the scenes that are have a lot of clout, that sort of energy. And the thing about the King of Swords is they are very much aware of their words, and they understand that words can be used as weapons, as well as they can be used as to uplift people. And words, if you don't back it by your action, it makes your word absolutely useless. If you give your word to someone and then you don't back it up, then no one's going to believe in your word. And here we have it. We have the sabotage, and it's sitting in between these two. Yeah, this energy keeps coming up, and it has to do with a marriage that wasn't, I don't know, if, a forged marriage, and a marriage that wasn't really a marriage, that type of energy. There's a lot of energy around this. What the heck is this? Why are you keeping coming up in the reading? Somebody out there, this comment if this makes any sense to you. So this is talking about backstabbing energy, being stabbed in the back and left for unalive, left laying there. This can represent over a decade of energy. Again, a lot of energy has been put into this. There's been a lot of thought put into it. It's talking about, this could be one person doing this like annually, something to do with pentacles because it's sitting on this energy here. And this missing pentacle energy could be something that's supposed to come in annually. Trusts, inheritances, I don't know. There's a lot of different things that financially that this could represent. This could also represent 10 people involved, or it could even be 10 groups of people. This is a blessing in disguise, though. This one thing that this card is saying is, again, it's this eclipse energy, and it's talking about, the light at the end of the tunnel. And it's talking about, when there's an eclipse and all of a sudden, the sun gets blocked by the moon and it looks like the sun disappeared. Well, I mean, it can be kind of scary, but then you realize, oh, the sun's still there. It's just we can't see it from our point of view because the moon is in between. So that there is going to be light after the dark, and this is a 10 card. So this is saying that it is coming to an end. And when all of this, the justice is put into place here, that it will be a blessing in disguise for you. Oh, look at this. It's raised you up to the judgment is here, definitely. And it's sitting again on this King of Cups energy. And this, I feel this is the collective energy. Someone out there that was supposed to be in generational wealth, but they're not. And it has something to do with this King of Cups. And this doesn't have to be your parents, but it could be someone related to you. On down your paternal line or your maternal line or both, that type of energy. We have judgment being called from the Most High. The trumpet is blowing. The ancestors are literally climbing out of their boxes. They're so excited. Finally, justice is being called. So the ones where the injustice happened are thrilled. And the descendants are waving to them from across the veil. This can represent skeletons coming out of the closet. So don't be surprised if you find out some shift about your family. This is this energy right here. And also Pandora's box is opened. So this could be bigger, like this is going to be public. So it might involve like a lot of public people that have authority, that, you know, like energy that involved, that it's going to be in the news. Let me put it to you that way. So whatever happened. And then we have the Empress at the top. So now either this is an Empress that's not in the upright, or this can be talking about the collective energy of going through all this. Sometimes we end up being in this Empress energy because we've been through so much and staying on the path. I am getting kind of a kind of energy here about that. I feel like it's just not, feeling true. It's not feeling like the justice has come into me yet. This is telling the story of a judgment being called. But we don't have the Hierophant at the top, or we don't have justice already being served. This is at the beginning, saying this reading, the underlying energy of this reading is justice needs to be served, and it's going to be a blessing in disguise here for the collective. But the judgment is being called. Now, does that mean that there's an Empress involved? I do hope not. It sucks when there's an Empress involved in that type of energy. Or it could be the collective having the status of being an Empress energy now because of everything that you've been through. But I just feel like sitting on this card, the judgment is being called on an Empress energy. And we have justice, we have the maternal line, we have breadcrumbing energy, we have some sort of lawyers and illegalities happening, we have this collective energy being sabotaged, and possibly by an Empress, or it could represent your energy rising to the top after all this happened. But I don't see the justices here as of yet. We do have the judgment coming in though. And so we're moving towards it. And it has definitely got to do with some missing generational wealth, or something happened here. And then we have this energy of people from the past coming in. Yeah, if that's happening, that's because maybe news is spreading. The Hierophant's in town, you know. And this is putting you on a different cycle, though. It's taking you out of this cycle here. And then we have, this has been going on for at least 8 years, I feel. And finally, you had to walk away from what you love. And now that's what the justice is coming in about. I'm going to clarify this because like it's just won't, I guess this is going to keep coming up in the readings until justice is served. And justice denied is justice, or justice delayed is justice denied. And it feels like that. It's time. Let's get this over with already so we don't have to keep doing readings about it. Someone's really wanting this energy cleared up. All right, I'm going to clarify with my oracle. So my oracle cards are, the numbers on these cards represent the paintings that I did. I started this oracle back in 2007, and in 2020 I completed all 64. I now have the website, and it has a gallery on it, and these the numbers on these cards represent the paintings, how they're numbered in the gallery. So you can check it out. I will have it in the description box below. It's talesfromthevector.com. And also what was I? Oh, it's from the Intergalactic Federation of Light. So Scorpio energy is coming in here. This is about Scorpio energy either unites or it conquers, basically. So it's about elevating people, or you know, and it's about uniting people in to come together and be in a cause. So This Hierophant energy is responsible for pulling people together and making sure this is cleaned up. I feel like it must be quite large energy. It doesn't just involve one person for sure. I mean, on either side of this, if this is talking about one of the victims of this energy, there's many more that have been victimized by it, I feel, because there's just so much energy behind it. And we have a tower happening, and that's when justice needs to come in. So this tower may not have hit yet. This card does say divorce, but this is also saying that the worst divorce is from source. So use your third eye energy. Make sure you are insightful. If you're having dreams or ideas coming to you, or you're noticing people hanging about that, you're wondering why are those documented. Scotoma is when you can see something and other people can't, or when other people know something and you don't know it, that type of energy. And I've come to the conclusion that basically scotoma happens mostly when because of love. Love is blind. And so if you have family members or a significant other or friends and that you care about and you love, you don't want to believe that they would be involved in this kind of energy, so you don't see it. The Hermit energy is talking about after the dark night of the soul, like when you have to you're here and you're on the ground and you don't think you have the strength to get up the 10th, the 11th time here. That's when the dark night of the soul happens, and the hermit climbs the mountain then to isolate and to talk to God and say, I need for something to happen with this energy. I need justice. And I need to know what to do next. And so he goes to the top of the mountain and he isolates himself. He confers with God, and then when his lantern is full of the North Star light and it shines bright, he knows that he has the right action to take and comes down from the mountain. This is saying God is here. God is aware. This is the happiest card in the deck. This is saying at some point this will be over and you will be happy. Be patient. It's not just involving one person. This is not just justice for one person. There are many people that are requiring justice here. This is something that's been going on for a while and it needs to be cleaned up. This is strength to be in your integrity, to stay on your destined path, to face your worst fears and be strong throughout that. And again, we have courage again here, having the courage to look inward and look at what can I do differently? How can I change this? And having the courage to face the actual truth, whatever that is, as painful as that may be, for you to face. And then we have Sagittarius energy. So this is talking about wanting to have expansion rather than contraction here. That's where you start to say, okay, I will fight for what's mine. Now that I know what I know, I'm not just going to let people take things from me. I'm going to, if it's cutthroat energy, I guess I'm going to have to fight. This is about wanting to expand rather than contract. If the horoscope signs show up in my readings, in collective reading like this, I am not talking about specific people. I'm talking about the energy of that sign. So just being aware of that I'm talking about the qualities of each of the signs. What can we learn from them? If you ever get your birth chart done, you'll notice that you have all of the signs probably, or most of them, in your chart. And we can learn from each other, and we can have a better understanding of each other through that learning, as well as benefiting ourselves. There is a definite transition coming in, and I do feel that it does involve this energy. It's coming up too many times in my readings, and it's also talking about surrender. This is psychic energy coming in. If you're feeling that way, like there's a lot of, like with this full moon being a blue moon and just the energy the way it is, we had Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini. And the last time, that was about a month ago, and the last time Uranus was in Gemini was in 1941 to 1949. So think of that time during World War II. It's that type of energy, like it's very intense energy around the planet. And the thing to understand about Uranus being in the sign of Gemini, bottom line is that truth wants to come out. And so that's, we're going to have Uranus in Gemini for the next 8 years or so. So until about 2033. So we just have to get used to this. If you're on the right side of the law, glory, hallelujah, the truth is coming out. Everybody that wants the truth to come out is saying yes, finally. And if you're on the wrong side of the law, well, you've been caught. You just maybe don't know it yet, but it's justice is on its way. And we do have also the high priestess energy talking about that, using, if you're feeling really emotional, do your best to calm yourself down. If you're finding out some of this energy, this information, calm yourself down. It's not a good time to be impulsive. And in this day and age, with all the AI and everything, you want to really double check that your information, that you're not jumping to conclusions, that, having temperance, having the patience to stay on your journey and be on that journey. And then at the top here, we have the Lover. So I'm just wondering, is this Empress energy someone who has power and she was the third party energy involved in this relationship? We have this energy, where is that? The 3 cups here. And we have that, someone that you know from your past. Is this someone you know from the past that has some sort of energy, that may be involved in this energy and may be the third party that was involved with your significant other at the time? Could be. It's something. Anyway, thank you for your likes and comments. I really do appreciate them. It really does help me build my channel. Consider subscribing if you resonate with the energy of the channel. I am honored when you do so. And also, I will be back with another daily reading for you again tomorrow. Enjoy that full moon energy. Bye for now.